Yo.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right. My name is Isak, and today I'm playing The Legend of Spyro, The Eternal Night. Any present? And with me here I got...
So I'm Sin. I'm also a runner of this game. I'm fortunate enough to have speedrun this game for a whole 2 weeks. This game is sick. Has a really sick run.
Yeah. I think we'll just get right into it. Timing starts once I skip one of these cutscenes. I'll say when. So yeah. There's a pretty long loading screen here.
Yeah, we're playing on PS2 and the loading screens are quite lengthy.
Yeah. About 20 seconds or so.
Yeah.
We'll be there. Alright. So there's this cutscene, and then... Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. Alright, would you like to explain what's happening here?
Of course, this is like my favorite glitch in this game, and it's pretty much just walking in place. So we like to call this glitch the walksy. I know the community, I believe, calls it something different, but pretty much what's happening is that when Spyro walks up sort of a slant or like a ledge, like for instance like this mushroom, you actually slide down it. But what you can do is that while you're sliding down, if you just push the stick forward slightly, you actually get momentum. And so you can, what you just saw there, you can actually release that momentum and get like tons of distance. And so that glitch there pretty much was able to skip the, I guess, first quarter of this level right to the spider section. Probably more than that. It's like 12 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we just saved like 12 minutes right there.
Well, not quite yet.
Almost.
So what we just did, we basically skipped the tutorial where you unlock the fire breath and a bunch more stuff. So right now, we are completely breathless.
Yeah, we don't have fire breath. Typically, you would go through so this game has like a bunch of dream sequences. If you play a New Beginning, there are trials, and in this game, there are dreams, and the dreams are way cooler in this game, where you like unlock your various abilities, and one of them's fire, and we are just completely skipping that.
Yep.
Yeah, so Zak here is going out of bounds.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no. Yeah, so what Zak is going to be doing here is he's going to be using a trick called strafe jumping to get out of bounds. Yeah. There is, I guess, another type that gives you a bit more distance that we can talk about later, but kind of the basic version of kind of what's going on here is Zak is pretty much locking onto an enemy, and it doesn't necessarily matter. Like, you have to be a certain distance away to initially lock on, but then you can kind of go as far away as you want from the enemy, and you'll still stay locked on to that enemy. So then what you can do is you can jump in midair, and then you can actually strafe, and then you can jump again out of that. And that's a super powerful glitch that we use pretty much everywhere in this run to just get out of bounds.
Yeah.
So a lot of this right here is pretty much after we made that jump, there's just tons of out of bounds movement here. So Zak is just going to be hugging the left side of, I guess, this tunnel with all the trees and shrubbery and everything. And so ideally, where we're trying to actually get to with all this out of bounds movement is there is a cutscene at the end of this part, and that's what we're trying to hit to pretty much skip this entire first section.
Let's see.
Yep, and then we also have, I guess, another small instance of something which will actually be used in tandem with the strafe jumping later, which is the strong attack. So you can actually jump on ledges and use the strong attack by just holding circle, and then you can actually jump out of the strong attack. And so you're seeing that here.
Oh my god.
And that's the first section done. Yeah, so shout out.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, so I guess I'll mention it now, that first section. I didn't want to mention it earlier because I didn't want to jinx it, but if Zak would have fallen through the world at any point during that out of bounds, you completely soft lock and you have to reset. Like, it's just over pretty much.
Yeah. So we would have had to go back 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that part's pretty scary, but Zak just nailed that.
Yeah, I'm really happy to Got
Yeah.
that.
And so you just noticed there that Azak actually quit the game, and then he loaded back in. And if you see in the top left in the UI, you see like the health and the stamina, you actually see the fire icon is there now. We actually have the fire breath now. So for some reason, and it's like this in A New Beginning as well, if you quit out after, I guess, a checkpoint after the dream or the trial, it'll actually just give you the ability that you were supposed to get. And it only really works on this one, I believe. But we get the other ones anyway, outside of one that we can mention later on.
Yeah, pretty much. Now with the fire breath that we unlocked, we get this ability called the Comet Dash, which basically just launches us forward. And it's gonna be like our main form of movements, pretty much, for the first half of the round.
Yeah, and thankfully there are enough of the green crystals to restore our stamina. So you, in some instances, you can just kind of spam it. And right here, Azak is trying to, I guess, push this bigger enemy like off this ledge because there's a bunch of roots on the bottom to insta-kill. So that was really good there. Ideally, what you can do is you can actually Comet Dash into them, and they'll just, if you're a certain distance away, they'll just immediately fall into the roots and die.
Yeah. That one enemy there did something pretty rare. He started jumping around and like being stun locked and stuff. I don't even know.
Yeah, the Comet Dash is actually kind of broken in this game. When you dash into enemies, sometimes they just get dealt absurd amounts of damage depending on how close you are to them.
Yeah.
But it has to be like a specific distance. You can't just be right up in them and then Comet Dash.
Yeah, I didn't really get it there. But, you know, try for it.
Yeah, and we're actually coming up, I believe, to the end of, I guess, this level. We're going to be entering, I guess, the first boss fight in this game, which is the Assassin. And there's a couple Assassin fights in this game, but this is the only one we're actually going to be doing. So the prelude to the fight is you just have to kill a bunch of these enemies, and then the boss fight will start. So pretty much we're just going to be spamming Comet Dash and then, like, breath and then jump spin attacks.
Oh, I got it there.
Oh, nice.
Kind of.
Something funny you might also know as well in the top right, that all the enemies have unique names.
Yeah.
I swear they like just they have like some random generator spinning because some of the names are really funny. Yeah, so this is the Assassin. So when the Assassin is lower, you can just jump and then tap square, and it'll actually hit the Assassin when you're not supposed to. So that was actually a really good fight there.
That was pretty decent. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, and so that is the end of the first level. So I believe, yeah, it was 12 minutes, right, that we save over the course of that whole level.
Yeah, before it used to take like 20 minutes, 18 minutes or something, and yeah, we cut it down to, in my world record, I do it in like 6 minutes or so. So
yeah, and this game has had massive cutbacks in terms of like just time save. There's been so much time save in this game over the past probably like 4 months, 5 months. The record used to be like 1:30, and now it's down to 52 minutes. So there's been lots of strat hunting in this game, mainly by Azak.
yeah.
Yeah. So the next level is the Ancient Grove.
Oh.
Oh no.
Don't mind that. Yo, I'm actually like glad that was on the run. That's something that can just happen. It will just like show that the data is corrupt, but it's actually just a lie. Sometimes it will actually just like show up with like an empty save file. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We just load back in.
Yeah, but the reason we actually quit out there this time is to get another new ability. So you can see under where the fire icon is, there's now, I guess, like a time bar. So you were seeing that immediately here is that, so you can actually slow down time in this game. And that actually helps out a lot with a lot of the strafe jumping.
Yeah. And also combats.
Yes, yeah, combat as well.
The developers really intended for you to use the dragon time, as it's called, to slow down the game. Because most of the enemies here, they made it so they basically have like almost no pre-attack, and they're really quick. So, and this is like a thing that I think put a lot of like casual players off. And it's probably one of the reasons, you know, this game wasn't like received very well.
Yeah, when I partially casually played this game, partially casually played it. Yeah, I just forgot Dragon Time existed so often, and the enemies are just so fast. And I'm like, how are you supposed to do this? And yeah, you're supposed to slow down time for actually a lot of the fights.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess one of the other collectibles we're going to be getting in this game, we're only going to get 2, and it's these green little masks, like dragon masks, I guess. And what they actually do is they actually give us more of, I guess, like the green, like I guess, like ability meter.
Prepare for the lag here.
Yeah.
Oh god!
Oh my gosh, the lag. Yeah, and also Dragon Time can also be used like for platforming as well. So they do have some platforming where like some of the platforms might move like faster as usual, and the developers intend for you to also use Dragon Time for those. Some of the platforms you can just straight up jump on without it, and others will have to use Dragon Time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in terms of what we're actually playing on, so we are playing on PS2, so there is also emulator as well that people run on. But yeah, PS2 will be perfect for this run.
Yeah, well, you know, I was initially gonna run this on emulator, but I decided against it. I don't know, I've just really been vibing with the PS2, even though there's a lot of lag and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's alright. Now.
Oh yeah, we're at the first of the dreams. I like to call it the cold dream, but it's officially called the ice dream. So there's just going to be a bunch of cutscenes here, and then we're going to see a super, super tough cutscene of Spyro, like, exploding with ice.
Tough!
That was so tough. That was so tough. Oh, we need claps for that. Oh, that was tough. Yeah, so every dream in this game is actually structured the same way. It's just that the challenge that you have to do is different. So the first section of each of them, you can actually skip, which is what you're seeing Isaac do right here. So we'll see.
Nice.
Nice. Nice. That trick is very hard. You have to do that twice. So we have to do that in one of the other dreams later on.
Ow.
So what you saw there was kind of a more advanced version of the strafe jumping, where we actually use a strong attack and then a spin, and then we do a strafe jump, pause, and then we're able to jump out of when we unpause. So it's a ton of button, it's just a huge chain, and we're able to use that to cross massive gaps that you'll see later on. But yeah, so this dream section specifically, oh no, oh no. Those are my least favorite part of this dream, is those pillars that you have to run on. I will just say I use Dragon Time for all of them. But yeah, so I guess the actual abilities we're actually getting is first is like the ice tail, so Spyro can spin and like hit enemies with ice. Don't worry, it's completely useless. We're just never gonna see it again after this. And then the second one allows us to actually shoot ice like out of our, like as like a breath, and it creates like little puddles of ice.
Yeah. So here we're gonna watch the super tough cutscene again.
Yep. And I think this is the last time we're going to be seeing the ice. The ability is actually called Furies. Furies were also in A New Beginning. And they're supposed to be pretty much just like an alt. Oh, here we go. Whoa, slow-mo sound cut. I'm not gonna lie, the sound cut, the slow-mo mixed with the sound cut just goes so hard. Like, and that's the end of the ice dream.
Yep. This game has really brutal checkpoints, so you know, if I messed up that super simple platforming there, I'd have to do that Fury section all over again.
Yeah.
But you know,
I died there during my first casual playthrough. And I had to do the Fury section again, but then I just gave up.
I died. I died there in one of my first runs.
Yeah, so we're actually going back to the Ancient Grove now. So we're not in a different level. We're just like in a different part of the Ancient Grove. And the monkeys are actually in this game. They were also in A New Beginning as an enemy. Well, they were actually like the only enemy in A New Beginning. And they're also in this game. But thankfully this game has a lot of other enemies. So that extended strafe jump we saw earlier, Izak is going to be doing here again to cross this huge like poison swamp, or I guess waterfall gap.
Yeah. Trying to... I'm messing this up.
These can also be really tricky with the timing. You want to make sure that when you strafe, you're not pausing immediately, because a lot of the times it'll actually drop. You want to make sure that when you're doing that strafe in air, you actually are giving it enough distance to where when you unpause, you're able to jump again. Yeah, so right here, there's actually going to be an unskippable cutscene trigger, and if you're far enough to the left here, you can actually jump over it, and there we go, Izak got that right there.
Yep.
That's actually a pretty long cutscene. It's around 40 seconds, I believe, right? I think.
Yeah. Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, so we go over here in the this fight gets confusing when you skip the cutscene, and then this just explodes. I don't know why. Yeah, so right here, Izak is going to be doing a very, very hard strafe jump.
I died.
But he's going to die. Don't worry, you're supposed to die.
It was intentional.
That was intentional.
It was not intentional.
But yeah, this strafe jump is really tricky. You can use Dragon Time during this, so I guess that's something we can point out as well, is Dragon Time can be used during these strafe jumps. Like you can have your grip a certain way to make it easier to do them with slowdown.
Just messing it up. The monkeys are in a different position than they usually are for me, so...
Yeah, that's another good thing to point out too, is that the position of the enemies, well, in most cases it doesn't really matter. In some instances it kind of does, because if the monkeys are too far away, you probably won't lock on.
Yeah.
Or if they're in a strange position, then you'll be locking on in a really weird spot. Nice.
That's fucking
nice.
hard. And here's a boss that we just skipped.
Yeah, we also just skipped the boss.
Yeah, usually you're supposed to fight one of the assassin fights there, but just by sticking to the left side of the wall there, you can skip it.
And we get a cutscene for these enemies for some reason. I don't know why. They do look tough, I will say. They look very challenging. Surely we're going to fight them, right?
Nah. We're just going to run straight past them. We don't need to fight them at all. Yeah.
Yes,
sure.
Of course, yep.
Anonymous donated $25.
Let's go. Thank you. Alright, so now we're going to
Jellies.
Jellyfish.
Yes, this section's sick. For some reason in this forest, there is like a forest that like doesn't have a bottom, from what it seems like. And there's just jellyfish everywhere. And we're gonna climb on some jellies, and that's like the entire section.
Yeah. Something to really, I guess, worth noting is that this is actually part of the first parts of this level that we're on. This level is split into two separate levels. You have Ancient Grove and Grove Underground. And there is a like theoretical skip that I've been like thinking about, where what you could do is you could skip straight from the beginning to this jellyfish section. But haven't really found a way to do it. But if you could, you know, you'd skip the ice stream, and you'd skip... oh shit, I just forgot.
This is on a cycle, by the way. You're supposed to slow down time the very second you come out here, and you're able to jump on this first jelly.
Yeah. I'm saying this just to say that there's still like a lot of potential left in this game, I would say, probably.
Yeah. And if anyone out there wants to find it, go ahead, because I feel like there's not a lot of strat hunters for this game.
Yeah. Gonna catch the cycle early by using the dragon time here.
Yeah, this entire section is pretty much kind of like cycle based. Some of the jellies just sit there and attack. Yeah, so for right here, for instance, we're gonna have to wait.
Should I go to do the tough jump?
There is a tough jump here. Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's go for it. Nice! Oh! There we go. Nice. We skipped 2 jellies there. The worth was crazy. Yeah, so we're just comet dashing through all of this.
Moving in a very like particular way, because it's very easy to bonk on things in this game.
Yeah, I actually want to mention really quick as well about these crystals. So it's actually not optimal to spam hit the crystals. So either the health crystal or the, I guess, ability one. You
Yeah,
actually get more. Yeah, so you actually get more from just hitting it once than you do from just spamming it. Very strange.
Yeah. Alright, now we're coming up on the boss.
Yeah, so we're coming up on Rick.
I bonked there. It's like, you just bonk on invisible things. It's great.
Yeah, so the boss coming up, his name's Rick. Well, he's technically called the Arbor Rick, right? Because he's like a tree guy. But his name's just Rick. His name's Rick. And so Rick is an interesting boss. So you have to hit each of his limbs 3 times to be able to get to the next phase. So 3 times on like his center, arms, legs, and like lower section. And unfortunately, he started spinning. What you're supposed to do is hit twice in each body part, and then go for the third ones all at once to progress the phase.
Yeah.
And there we go. So we're at the next phase now.
Yeah, you can one cycle it if you're like really good with your shots there, but I just messed it up a little bit.
Yeah, and on the second phase here of the fight, this fight is kind of crazy RNG.
Ow!
Pretty much he's gonna spin again, and then he's gonna come up actually on land, like right in front of Spyro, and he can do one of 2 attacks. He can either stomp on you or he can kick you. We do not want him to kick us. We want him to stomp, because if he stomps, the foot will be right next to Spyro, and we can just spam it with Dragon Time on, and it will deal tons of damage.
Yeah.
If he does kick, then we just can't do anything pretty much. Like, we're just still normally attacking him. We're hoping for good RNG here. I know Isaac was doing runs, like, what was it, yesterday or 2 days ago, and he literally kicked like 6 times in a row.
Yeah. I think that was the record.
That was the record. Yeah, the record, he kicks like 6 times. So we're about to see that here in a sec. So we're going to spam, and then after a little while, Isaac's going to wait a sec. Oh, and there's 1 kick, unfortunate.
Please.
Come on. Good RNG, please.
It's not doing
He's doing nothing? Oh, there we go. Nice. So here we go. So you see we're doing way more damage now.
Yeah. And as far as I know, that is completely RNG, and you can lose like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, just like to him being awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the second level done.
Yeah. And now we are at, I guess, arguably one of the harder levels. I won't say hardest, but harder levels. It's like an arena type level, but it also has a couple other sections that are like auto-scrollers. So this is like the pirate segment of the run. There is a ton of out of bounds here. It won't seem like we're skipping much here, but this is like massive in terms of time save, what you're going to be witnessing in terms of just skipping content. So what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be doing a ton of strafe jumps to get up to where I guess the captain of like the pirates are, and his name is Scagg or Scab. I say the name wrong. I'm just too used to it. Okay, nice. You got that first part. That first part I feel like is the hardest part.
I can't see
Hopefully we'll get that. I'll let you concentrate here for a sec. Okay, nice.
Never good.
Yeah, so what we're doing is we're skipping this entire first section and going straight to the boss, which is just in this like treasure room.
Yeah. Usually this level takes like 30 minutes to complete or something casually. Like And yeah, we're we're just done with it right
Yeah,
there.
so there we go. Nice.
That's and also we skipped the Earth Dream by doing that.
Yes, so there is another dream called Earth, and in New Beginning, Earth is like completely broken, and I think it isn't possibly in this game too, I'm not sure.
No, yeah, it's super broken.
Yeah, but we don't get it. Even though it's super broken, we don't get it just because it's slow just to do the dream.
Yeah. So usually you can like cheese. Ooh,
yeah.
You can cheese this boss using the Earth attack.
Yeah, but since we don't have Earth, we have to have an alternative way to fight him. And this boss...
Oi, 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 he hits me.
Oh, no.
Oh, nay.
Yeah, this boss actually relies on you having Earth, which means that his attacks, when you get close to him, is he always tries to like swat you away. So it's very hard to hit him. So what you can do is that you can go towards his backside, and you can kind of circle around him. And if you attack and jump, and then like jump and spin attack, you can actually like attack very, very quickly for some reason and just like destroy his health bar. So Azak got a lot of that in the first phase, and he got a lot of it there as well. So nice.
All right, now we gotta get the timer out.
Yeah, so we actually have here, I know those watching can't see it, but Azak actually has his phone sitting on the table in front of him. So there is actually a trick here where we actually need another timer to be running at the same time. So the trick that we did at the very beginning of the game, the walk-see, we're going to do another one of those on this section. This is a super long auto-scroller section, and we're going to do a walk-see that's going to take us to the very end of this section, and it's super crazy to watch once it actually happens. So this walk-see, the reason we need a timer for this is because we have to do this walk-see for 1 minute and 15 seconds.
Let's go! Right.
So we're actually doing it on this small little cannon. So it's a little bit kind of precise where you need to land.
I'm not getting... Oh, hold on, wait. There we go.
Okay, nice. So how this actually... so the stick only has to be held up slightly. You do not want to push up all the way, because if you push up all the way, Spyro will do his, I guess, like slow walk, or like, I guess, like his jog or whatever. So you don't want that. And you don't want it to be held too far back, because then you're not walking fast enough and you're going to slide off the platform. So you need it in the perfect spot. So really what this trick is you start walking and you have to sit completely still without moving at all for 1 minute and 15 seconds. And Azak is moving, he's showing off. So Azak kind of has a method where he has the control stick and he uses 2 of his fingers to kind of try and hold it in place. So
gripping it kind of hurts. I'm not gonna lie, like when you do this for hours and hours, like practicing, because we were strat hunting this for a long time, trying to find a viable skip for this, and I put so many hours, and yeah, my fingers were hurting. I'll say that much, but.
Yeah, and it also has to be exactly 1 minute and 15 seconds, which is about 100 tail, I guess, back and forth. So every time the tail hits the left side is 1. So we have to do 100 of those.
And we're coming up on that right now. So.
And there we go. And there we go. Just get launched.
And then we're gonna die, and we're gonna respawn with a lot of speed.
Come on, I'm sure you'll get it.
And we're just gonna.
So we're looking for a small ship. You'll see it in a sec. And there it is right there.
1,
There's a small boat.
2, go.
And then, so the arena for the boss, you can see it right below Spyro. So that's where the final fight is of this level. So we literally skipped everything in this entire level.
Yep. Ooh.
And the boss is, of course, Scagg again. I'll never call him Scab. His canon name is Scagg. I've called him that for too long.
Ooh.
Yeah, so this is another example of the fast attacking. This fight actually is like kind of hard, because he calls minions in like pretty early in this fight. Hopefully we don't die here. If we do, it's not a big deal. The game does checkpoint you when you enter this fight. But looks like we're close here. And nice.
You got really close there. Yeah, we good.
Yes. Yep.
Farm Merge Valley donated $2. This night bout to be eternal. GL and Lucky Merge.
True.
Chinch Swag Tier donated $10. Thank you Isaki for breaking this game, and for hopefully breaking some more games. Here is to sub 50.
Yes.
Yes, nice. Also, ore farming incoming. Here we go. Whoa.
Tough.
Tough. Okay, so this is the Electric Dream, which is, I believe, the actual name for it, right? But everyone calls it Lightning Dream.
At least I do.
Yeah, Electric is canon. That's the canon name. So yeah, so this is actually starts off the same exact way as the Ice Dream. Like, it's literally, like, the same. So we can do that same skip we did before. Yeah, I think we got it.
Yeah,
nice.
Saves about 10 seconds when you do it.
Yeah.
It's worth noting that those jumps I was doing like around the edge there, that's to basically just avoid the cutscene trigger that is there.
Yeah, and there's also a fight you have to do there too.
Yeah, it's a fight and yeah, this whole thing. So
yeah,
we just try to not touch it, and you have to jump at the very edge. It's not.
Yeah, and unlike the Ice Dream, where like the abilities are kind of useless, one of the abilities we get in this dream is actually used for skips.
Yep.
So it's actually the first one we saw there. It's like the Beyblade spin. It's where Spyro kind of gets on his tail and he just spins in circles and there's like a lightning tornado around him. You can use that to like scale walls and it's really sick. And you can also use it to hold your position on a wall to then do other tech. Yeah, the tech in this game is sick. Like there's tons of like combos of moves you can do to do some pretty crazy stuff. And we'll be seeing that in the next level as well. The second ability we have in this, which you just saw is like the lightning grenade thing, that's like completely useless. We're like never going to see that again.
Yeah, I had a strat with it, but I routed it out doing something else now. So
yeah, and just like Ice Dream, our toughness check is coming up again. Oh, that was tough. And that's the end of the Electric Dream. So my favorite NPC of this game is coming up in the next level. It's called Caves. And Caves, also there's Cinder. She's kidnapped. We have to free her. So my favorite NPC is coming up in a sec. It's like a turtle in the water. Well, we'll be quiet for the turtle once it loads. He makes a funny noise. There's the turtle guy. Yeah, so this is Caves. This level is kind of also like the first level in this game, where if you die far in, you kind of have to go back to the beginning. So this level can actually be really hard and really tricky. We're actually going to be seeing some tech with the lightning spin right here. So we're going to spin, do a heavy attack, and then we're able to like kind of tech out of that to get up here. And we're going to be doing it again to get up to another platform. And we also just skipped a fight there. So there is a fight that's on the lower level where you have to fight a bunch of like stone soldiers. And there's like a cutscene there as well. And so we just kind of bypassed all of that.
Really, a lot of the game where you do these fighting sections, we really get to skip. And
yeah, this game is actually really sick. It's all skips. Like every like 2-3 minutes, you're seeing a skip. It's a really fast-paced run. And also, you know, there's a skip coming up right now. So Izak actually attacked that enemy before that cutscene started playing, or like while it was playing, and it means that the enemy's now frozen for some reason. So we can use him as a lock-on to do this next skip. So he just won't move. So I'll be quiet here for a sec, because this section here can be a bit tricky.
Nice, I got it.
Nice.
Woo!
Woo!
Yeah, so if I messed that skip up, I would have hit the cutscene. And because I skipped the Earth ability, basically what you have to do there is you have to kill all the enemies and you have to use all the abilities and to like light up like some puzzle. And if I got the cutscene there, it stretches out pretty far and it's really easy to hit. If you get it, it's a soft lock and I have to reload and I would have lost like 2 minutes. So yeah, really glad I hit that.
Also, nothing's loaded in this room, but don't worry, it'll be there. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
So the purpose of this room is we actually need to go through a trial for each of the abilities that we obtained previously. So fire, ice, lightning, and earth, but we obviously skipped earth. But don't worry, because the game is just going to like give us the check for earth, even though we don't have it. I don't know why, it just does. And we actually don't have to do the electric one either, which is strange. We only have to do ice and fire.
Yeah, it's because the game defaults to the lightning trial. Or electric trial, whatever you call it. Oh, here.
Oh, here's a skip. This is a cool skip. This is, I guess, some fighting tech. So if you charge up the ice breath ability, and then you just hold it, and you pause and unpause, it counts that as a shot. So you can just keep spamming pause, unpause.
Yeah. You get infinite ice and infinite electricity.
Yeah, so yeah, you do get infinite. Yeah. But yeah, you do get infinite kind of when you do the pausing, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what we're trying to do here is we're trying to hit 3 buttons. So Isaac just hit the first one, and the second one is actually in like an ice crater, and he's going to do like just a small skip here to get to that faster. Yep, nice. And so right when the camera changes, we're going to jump and then shoot that one.
Yeah.
And then the last one is going to be in like the upper section of this area. This ice and fire trial also have a boss associated with them as well. Also, these sections can be a little bit annoying as well because, you know, we don't collect any health upgrades in this game. So the enemies kind of just absolutely... Also, that guy was glitching for a second. You saw that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was... Yeah, these enemies are quite annoying. They, like, they kill you very quickly.
Yeah, if that guy could have pushed me off, that would have been scary.
Yeah, also, screw this guy, these little guys. So this little button guy you're supposed to, like, ground pound on top of, and they run away super fast, and so they're really annoying to catch up to. But thankfully, if you slow down right as you get to them, they kind of just won't move and you can hit them. Yeah, so this is the first boss. It's called the Ice Spirit, which sounds very familiar probably from another game. Don't worry about that.
Wait, what game?
What game? Oh, I think it's like a mobile game or something where you like place troops and they attack towers and stuff. So something like that. But don't worry, it's not that kind of thing. Hopefully the fire one does not have a similar name, because I think it might be just kind of a coincidence. Like I don't know if it's gonna be a coincidence if the other guy has a similar name. Yeah, so the Ice Spirit's pretty easy. We just charge the Ice Breath and then just do the pause tech. And that's the end of, I guess, the first, I guess, retrial, where you kind of just do it again.
Yeah. The next one is fire trial.
Yeah, and I know, is it actually faster to do ice first or fire first? Or does it not matter at all? Because I feel like you don't have a lot of feeder.
I was supposed to get the gems there. I completely forgot. Well, now it doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, I guess it wasn't fast anyway, so. But yeah, I guess it can be debatable on doing which one ever is faster first. Yeah. Ideally, it just depends on how much meter you have to use the Comet Dash and the other abilities, like the ice abilities. I guess also to note, you can only use the specific ability for the trial. So in the ice one, Isaac could only use ice. So that's why you didn't see us really using like the other abilities. And in this one, we can only use fire.
Ow! Oh!
Oh, nice. Also, small skip coming up here. So Isaac is going to try and flame both of these orbs at the same time. And typically there's 2 cutscenes that are supposed to play here, but you can get them both like at the same time. And so he just got it right here, so they both broke.
Simple.
Very hard skip. Very hard skip. Almost frame perfect. Almost frame perfect. Also, this fight is the worst fight in the game, I ain't gonna lie. This fight sucks.
Yeah, I might just like...
Yeah, I think, maybe we still got it.
Nah, I'm taking it safe. I was about to die.
Oh, wait. Okay.
I got kicked out.
You looked away.
Oy, oy.
Yeah, these guys can block too. They're really annoying. Oh, he's just spinning.
I don't know what's happening. What?
What's he doing? He was just ascending there for a second. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, so I guess since we skipped like pretty much most of the combat sections in this game, now you get to really see how buggy the combat is. All right, let's see.
Yeah, so we actually get a checkpoint in this room here. Oh, and he skipped the cutscene. Nice.
Yeah. I don't know how that works. I just go for it.
Yeah, there's a cutscene that's supposed to play there. That's supposed to like, it's just one of those like camera view where it kind of just shows you around like the area what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
It isn't a long cutscene at all. It's nice we got that. These two guys are also annoying like the first ones, but we can just knock them off the cliff. You know, it's fine. And our second dragon mask is also in this room. You can actually see it behind the this fire golem guy. We are going to be getting that one. Oh no. Nice.
Gonna get it right as the cutscene starts, and it's gonna warp us right to this spot here, so I don't have to, backtrack. Pretty nice. Spam comet dashes to get around here. Get this guy.
Before he runs away. Nice.
Yeah. There is a route where you could technically skip dragon time altogether, but you would have to deal with those small little crabs. And they are super fast without dragon time. Yeah. But it could potentially save like 40 seconds or something if someone were to go for it. Oh. Here.
Also, wait, what a coincidence!
What?
The other guy in the Fire Dream is called Fire Spirit, also not related to another game. And this guy, we're using a tech here where we're comet dashing into him at a certain distance, and we can just drain his health. So yeah, he was a pushover. He's dead already.
Yep.
And that fight as well, if you do fail that trick when the fight starts, that doesn't matter. You can like reinitiate at any time. You just have to make sure you're at the right distance from the boss, and you can just keep doing it.
Technically, you can do that tech on pretty much any enemy in the game, but it's definitely a lot easier to do it on that boss.
Yeah, so we only did the first two dreams here. So what we're actually going to be doing is, typically you're supposed to do the other ones, but we're actually going to quit the game here. And...
it deleted one of my save files!
Oh, whoa!
No worries, it wasn't the wrong file though. We're fine.
Yeah, PS2 just does that sometimes. It'll just delete the saves. But yeah, so the reason why we...
Very marathon safe.
Yeah,
guys.
it's super marathon safe game. Yeah, very safe. Way better than emulator though,
Yeah.
So what we did there by quitting is, so earlier when we were in caves and we landed on that elevator like out of bounds that we like had to glide down to, we just respawned that elevator. So Izaka's going to get out of bounds here, and he's going to re-land on the elevator that we landed on earlier.
Yeah. Basically, the game is only going to check if you have 3 of them finished, and if you then finish any trial, it will be like, oh, I guess you finished 4 of them, and it will take you to the final boss of this level, I guess.
Yeah. So so there's another boss coming up. This is actually a boss from the first game, so A New Beginning. We're actually going to be fighting the last boss of New Beginning, which is the Cinder fight, but it obviously looks a little bit different. So this is actually the perfect RNG.
Yeah.
So this fight, she can actually be 4 different colors, and the color corresponds with your ability. So this is actually the best RNG to get yellow first.
Yeah, that's insane. I once had a run where I had to die 7 times. And it was really, really slow. I just could not get the right roll at all. Pretty much the only breath that's like useful to use there is like the lightning one, and anything else is just way too slow.
Yeah, and if you get the boss really low, you could also switch to one of the other abilities. But if Cinder switches to green, you just can't do anything. Like if Cinder's at full health and it's green, you could just die and just you know, roll the dice again.
Before you used to do it with green, but that was when we used to upgrade the Earth ability. But I haven't been leveling up anything, so during this run.
Also, yeah, spoiler alert, we don't upgrade anything.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, this is a cool level with a snow filter.
This is the final level.
This is the last level. And I love how this level has like a very obvious like snow filter, and it's not actually like snowing on the map.
Yeah.
Like you can just tell it's like a screen effect. But yeah, this is the mountain fortress. This level is actually really hard. There is one specific trick that is really hard that's going to happen after this one. So we're going to skip the entire first section here by actually holding the Beyblade spin, and then we're going to do a charge, jump up, and then do another Beyblade spin to then glide down here. And we're going to be trying to get a checkpoint, and right there, you just got it, and then we're going to die, and then it's going to spawn us later on in the level. So nice.
Yeah, so it's about a minute doing that.
I'm sure you'll get it this time.
Okay, so this skip here is, yeah, this skip sucks. So this is this is tree skip. This is a multi-stage skip. So to get this skip, you have to do like 4 different skips. So the first part is the strafe jump. So right here, hopefully Azak can lock onto the enemy.
Yep.
Nice, we'll get out of bounds. And then we have to land on some very small platforms over here. Just the second part. Nice. Okay, and then the third part is we need to pretty much lightning around this tunnel and then do a bunch of like out of bounds movement. Nice. This movement can be really tricky because there's not actually a floor there, so you have to jump quickly or you're going to fall through.
And there's very specific spots.
Yeah, it's very specific. This whole section is very, very hard. It's a lot of very specific points where you're allowed to stand. You almost fell through the map there. And then the last part here is we're going to try and get some enemies to spawn on the left side here.
Nice.
Nice. So we see the monkeys in the top left, and that's the trick. First try. Nice. That is easily probably the hardest skip in this game. I ain't gonna lie. Like that skip is really hard. So that was really nice that we got that first try. I was very, very nervous watching that trick. No, Izak had it though. He's a professional at this. So something you might have seen there, we're going to see it again right here, is you're probably noticing that we're doing the electric attack and we're not losing anything from our green bar. So believe it or not, there is actually an infinite ability glitch where we can just use the same ability over and over again. And so what that entails is we're pretty much... we're switching between 2 different abilities, so we're starting at electric, and then we do the tornado spin,
also,
and then we switch to fire.
If you use it here, you're invincible. So
yeah, you're invincible to this as well. So we switch to the fire ability right as we start spinning, and the game thinks we're on fire, but we're actually using lightning. But since we're not actually shooting any fire, we're not going to lose any bar, right? So it just allows us just to spin forever.
I forgot
also,
to get gems.
yeah, we just lost gem there, so we can't spin anymore.
Yeah, that's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
And this also makes this fight up here actually significantly easier, because I feel like this fight would be really hard if you didn't have this glitch. You have to kill, I don't even know how many waves, to be honest.
It's like 2 minutes of fighting.
It's literally like 2 minutes of fighting, and that's like, I think it's with this glitch, it's like 2 minutes of fighting.
Yep. So
it's even worse. Yeah, shout out to the enemy names. Gazarus the Shredder. Chain freeze the blade. Whoa, chain freeze the blade! Whoa!
some of these enemies can like knock you back, and it sucks because you get knocked out of that animation. But
yeah, typically the enemies that are actually able to hit you out of this, they're typically blocking. So there are enemies in this game that have shields, and it's not really like a parry, but it is kind of like a parry, but they can like kind of just hit you with their shield, and then it kind of nullifies your ability here. So let's see like that guy right there, he just like whacked his shield. And it's kind of just random. It's just random if they do that or not. So yeah, this is just all fighting. So if there are any donations, this is literally all we're going to be doing for like the next minute.
Maggot donated $1. This game was my childhood. Thank you, isakiBV, big fan.
Top_SR donated $10. The day is temporary, but the night is eternal.
Oh yeah, so here's a strat here that I didn't know about until probably like, I don't know, like a week ago or something. So you can like actually bait these enemies off this ledge. I think this is actually something newer, right? That was discovered.
This happened on accident in one of my runs, and I was like,
Yeah, what you used to do before is I think you used to like toss them up in the air and like just kind of have them get pushed off. But yeah, don't worry, they'll just run off the ledge. It's fine. Yeah, no problem. And we're actually going to get a checkpoint here as well, which is good. So,
yeah.
And yeah, that's the end of that section. So the next section is the most exciting, I think, in the entire run.
Oh, yes. Yes, such an exciting section.
So coming up is another assassin fight, but we're going to skip it. There's a very tight corner that you can go around. It's really easy to mess up. If you do get the checkpoint, you have to fight the assassin. But let's see if Azak gets this here. So we got the checkpoint.
Yeah, we got it.
Skip the fight. And so right here is probably the most entertaining and fun part of this game. So we're going to stand on like 4 platforms for probably like 2 minutes and just do nothing.
Nah, it's like a minute, but yeah, it's...
Yeah, this is just a platforming section. So we just have to wait for these platforms that are moving up and down. Unfortunately, I don't know why, but they all start at like the most inconvenient like spots.
I believe these are on a global cycle, so like however fast you do the level up to this point will determine like when the starting platform, where it will be, pretty much.
Yeah, some of these can be kind of deceiving as well, because as this is moving...
I'm not paying attention at all to this.
Yeah.
I was supposed to get on that one.
Yeah, so that platform we were just on, it actually like goes up way higher than it needs to go, so it can be like kind of deceiving where you're actually supposed to be landing.
Yeah.
And this is the last platform. So the sections, it's not that bad. But when we get up to the... so we're going to get back into the cave again, and we're going to immediately do another out of bounds. So let's see if we get this here. So we're doing another like electric tornado out of bounds. Oh no, we're stuck.
Fine. Nice.
This is another kind of multi-stage skip like the one earlier. So we have to do like 4 or 5 different skips. And if we die at any point during these, believe it or not, if we die during any of this, we actually have to fight the assassin that we just skipped. It'll actually spawn us in the fight.
And now?
And we just got it. So there you go. That section's good.
Yep. Now we get this cutscene.
Yeah, so this is like probably the most lore-intensive cutscene in this entire game.
Pay close attention.
So there's a lot of lore in this cutscene if you notice. So there's like a cave and like candles, and they're just showing the cave. There's no lore. They're just showing the cave.
And there's a statue.
I mean, I guess the guy, yeah, this statue dragon, he looks pretty tough. I'm pretty sure he's supposed to resemble a character that's in the 3rd game in this series, which is Dawn of the Dragon. That statue's supposed to be that guy. But we don't know that yet, and we don't find out probably until the next game.
Yeah, and now it's just pretty basic platforming until the boss here.
Yeah, so the final boss is coming up in a second. Nizaka's actually going to be equipping the ice for this. I don't know why. It's just faster to have ice, right?
It lets you do this trick where you can just stay like suspended in the air and basically do like an infinite combo. For some reason, in ice, that just happens. But yeah. Yeah,
so this is the final boss of the game. It's just a monkey from New Beginning that they just like drug to make bigger. His name is Gaul. He's like the leader of all the monkeys, and pretty much the plot is he's trying to resurrect a dragon called Malefor, who is in the next game, Dawn of the Dragon. And so we're like trying to stop him. So this entire fight is actually RNG.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. Okay, so we want him to do this attack. And so what Izaka's going to do is on the 5th slam, he wants him to be kind of clipped into this pink ray. Let's see if we get it here. This might work.
Maybe.
So when he's clipped into this pink ray, you can actually infinitely attack him, and he'll just sit here and do nothing.
I can't believe I got it.
Yeah, so we actually got it first try. That's a pretty hard skip.
Yo, you know what? When I was practicing this earlier, Sam was watching me. I did not get this a single time.
That was insane, yeah. So don't worry. So this is the last phase. So we're actually Dark Spyro now. So we got the Dark Juice. So we're now like Dark Spyro. And we're doing a super crazy glitch here where we're pretty much like spamming triangle and holding a bunch of different directions, and then also holding square to be able to use like the void breath or whatever. But unfortunately, Azak did not get the full chain, but you can pretty much annihilate this boss in like a minute or less. You can pretty much stun lock also, oh my gosh, the flashing on that move. But yeah, you can pretty much just kind of stun lock him with that, but since Azak didn't get it, it's not really a big deal. The Void Breath is also really strong, and Gaul doesn't have really any crazy attacks. He does have some kind of BS attacks, like this Laser Eye, where he can like kind of knock you off the ledge and then you have to redo everything. But Azak is making this boss look really easy, but this boss is actually like really stupid. This boss is really hard. And time is also coming up. So time is going to come up when we use the Dark Fury.
So I'll say, when? Now.
And time, yeah. World record!
No, it's not world record. What is that for? 54, 55?
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah, so we're just gonna scream at him until he like dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see him die here. Also, Bloodborne Bell.
Yeah.
Whoa, so tough.
So yeah, that's it for me. I guess shout out the Legend of Spyro community. You know, Epicness, Ginger Swag Tia, Snuggles, Graphics, Whip. You know, Sin.
Of course.
Scary in the crowd here.
Yeah, shout out to the crowd that showed up.
Shout out
to the crowd. Everyone that showed up for this run, thank you. This game is sick.
Yeah, I think that's it for me. I don't know. I don't think I have anything to say really.
Yeah, go play this game. Speedrun this game. This game doesn't have a lot of runners, and this run is so sick. Please run it. Join the community. Join the Spyro Discord. Everyone in Spyro is very nice. Join the Legend of Spyro Discord as well. Also great community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's it from me.
Yeah. Thank you.